Hello there, gang, and welcome to the Earth's mightiest video podcast. There's a whole bunch of news to talk about and some non-toy news as well. I'm going to front load the show with that, so if you want to jump straight to the action figures, you can do at the timestamp down below. In the meantime, though, there's a whole bunch of other things that I want to talk about, so let's talk about them. The Spiderverse TV show starring Nicolas Cage, which has kind of been getting developed just in the background while we've been focusing on other stuff. They're starting to reveal sneak peeks, and we have this good-looking picture of the live-action Spider-Man Noir with the mask looking perfectly recreated, not just from the comics, but from the Spider-Verse movie as well. So I'm really excited to see this. I think a Nicolas Cage Spider-Man vehicle could be so much fun. Going to be hitting Amazon hopefully before the end of the year. Don't have an official release date yet, but man, when we do, I think it's going to be a reason to get excited. This could be a whole lot of fun. Yep, come on, Morty. We got to renew that Netflix subscription, Morty. We're getting a new season. Season 8 of Rick and Morty going to be hitting Netflix on May 25th. I'm real happy about this because I love Rick and Morty, but I don't know if it's cool to love Rick and Morty anymore. They don't really have sort of the clutch on the zeitgeist like they used to. I think maybe people who are sort of philosophical snobs are like, oh, Rick and Morty's passé. Is it? Because I don't think it's lost its touch. I think Rick and Morty is still really great. What do you guys think? And also, bear in mind, it doesn't matter what other people think. It's whether or not you enjoy something. I think Rick and Morty's still great. I'm really looking forward to this new season. Something I didn't think was so great, and I will admit is kind of controversial, is Spider-Verse 2. I wasn't a fan, but of course the third one is going to be coming out, officially announced now, for June of 2027. A long time after people were expecting it, but hey, you can take your time and then release something good. It's better than rushing it and having a flawed product. And they've released some images from it, and already I'm getting a migraine looking at them. And that was the problem I had with the second movie. Loved the first one, don't get me wrong, but the second one just felt like so much flying at you. I was like, can everyone just calm down? The second movie felt like a kid when their friend is visiting and they're kind of getting all hyperactive, and you're like, no, you calm down, you're showing off, all right? Just, breathe, relax. That's what the second Spider-Verse movie needed to do. It's like, stop showing off. Stop showing how clever you are. Just because you can have 10 million different things moving around on screen at the same time while the camera spins in 360 degrees doesn't mean you have to. Just relax. And if they can do that, I'll enjoy Spider-Verse 3. I'm certainly going to go see it, but I'm doing so with a little bit of trepidation. Gang, time to take a quick pause for the cause and tell you about this channel's sponsor, Legendsverse. You know Legendsverse right now. They're your one-stop shop for all of your action figure cataloging and curating needs. In this case, I want to talk to you about Maximum Hulk, which has just been revealed, and that might make you think, well, that's all well and good, but what other Hulks are out there? Well, if you want to find out, you can just go to Legendsverse, type in Hulk, and not only will it tell you what Marvel Legends Hulks are there, it'll tell you what Select Hulks are there, what Mafex or SH Figure Arts or Toy Biz Hulks are out there. They have so many different toy lines listed on Legendsverse. It's a dangerous rabbit hole to start going down, because when I do that, I'm like, well, what else? What about Ben Reilly? What Ben Reilly figures do I not have? Then I discover what ones came out over the last 30 years, and I realize, oh boy, I got some grails I gotta seek out. So if you want to dive down the action figure rabbit hole, not just with Legends, but McFarlane, NECA, Mezco, Mythic Legions, Street Fighter, Mattel, Motu, and all points in between, go check out Legendsverse and tell them Dave sent you. The Hasbro G.I. Joe's classified team have shown off the renders of their 3 upcoming figures. We're getting Monkey Wrench, we're getting a new Baron Blood, and also Cobra Commander in his battle armor gear. And just like all the other classified figures, they all look really good. Baron Blood was, I think, the first classifieds figure I ever had in hand many years ago now, and that was what instantly won me over to the line. I was like, wow, these are legit. These aren't just, Marvel Legends, but with G.I. Joe paint of coat. They're a whole new, different, more advanced, honestly, I feel, line of action figures. And these are more of the same. And when it comes to G.I. Joe classifieds, more of the same, that's no bad thing. for wrestling figures that are slightly outside of the WWE bubble, we've got you covered. We've got the new Pinnacle line from Zombie Sailors Toys. That's a bit of a tongue twister for me to say. They got the Heels and Faces collection. These I love to see, because this is just something that's separate from WWE. Not Mattel, something for some of the deep cut characters and maybe ones who you feel didn't get like the best treatment from Mattel. I like this. So we've got, first of all, haha, JARR, haha, ETT, Jeff Jarrett. And I mean, this was one of the worst gimmicks, I think, ever, and a great staple of the awful 90s-ness. I'm sorry, no offense to Double J. We love him now, but in 1995, why were you dressed as a cowboy disco stripper? Made no sense. Then Abdullah the Butcher, if you want to go way back into time with your hardcore bloodletting. Less said about that, the better. But this Abbey, I mean, they put the plastic in. He's got the bizarre Abdullah the Butcher body that he was so famous for. Then King Kong Bundy, a lot of fun. He feels like one of the old LJN type figures. Just a big lump of rubbery plastic, but in a fun way as well. I mean, the man looks like a giant egg, but hey, that's why he was so successful. And finally, they've got Loose Cannon Brian Pillman, one of the more tragic stories of professional wrestling. A guy who had it all and unfortunately managed to lose it all as well. But what a tale to be told. And this particular figure is from his height, like the peak of his fame and potential before it all came crashing down. This was what he was wearing when he invaded ECW, and man, what a time to be a wrestling fan it was. So yeah, these are available over at zombiesailor.com. If you're a hardcore wrestling fan, you might want to check these out. A hotly anticipated McFarlane DC figure is now live. It is the Killing Joke, Joker, complete with trench coat and camera to recreate that iconic front cover. Once again, I gotta say, McFarlane, when they deliver well. And I think this is a good looking Joker. The texture on the coat, I think, makes it look and feel very kind of real. I really like that. So it was delayed a little bit. It even says here on Toy Arc, after a full start, the exclusive Joker from the Killing Joke is now live. But this time at McFarlaneToyStore.com and Walmart. So it's going to be retailing for $24.99, so the regular kind of price for a decent looking figure right there, and should be shipping as soon as April this year. So if you're a big fan of The Killing Joke, which I know a lot of people are if we're talking about the comic, if we're talking about the animated movie, not so much. But yes, if you do have nostalgia for this story, this Joker looks like a really good representation from it. If you want to go a little bit retro with your DC characters, then you can also get those from McFarlane. They're doing the DC Super Friends 6-inch figures. They're going to be up for pre-order very soon. In fact, the 4th of the 4th. So just about a month away, you'll be able to go and pre-order these. So you're getting some of the original big heavy hitters from the Super Friends show. We're getting Batman, there's going to be Lex Luthor, also Sinestro, and then finally Green Lantern. More basic action figures, but that kind of fits with the kitsch retro charm of Super Friends. So I see the appeal. These are kind of fun. JFS Toys. Have you heard of them? Well, you're about to. They announced a few months ago that they were doing the Villains of Old Detroit, and they showed off the grayscale prototypes. Well, now we've got the full reveals and they look really good. I'm very excited for these. They're going to be 1/10 scale, which is 7-inch, which means that they will line up with the NECA Robocop. So that's great. And they've got the whole gang here. And they're going to be doing more as well. They're going to be doing Emil in his melty form, which is just nightmare fuel. But the fact that we can get Clarence and Nash and obviously Emil himself and the other dude and the other dude, I'm not good with names, but the fact we've got the Villains of Old Detroit, that's just great. Now I think we need a Dick Jones. Maybe he'll be coming in the future, but for a hardcore 80s Robocop fan, I love to see these. This is an episode of good news with a lot of fun stuff. YOLO Park are going deeper with their Transformers now. We're going to be getting Tarn, who's a character I'm not overly familiar with, but I've always loved the style and design of him. A Decepticon that wears a mask of the Decepticon insignia. That's just kind of badass. I really like that. And YOLO Park, they always market them as model kits, but really they're no more complex than a Marvel Legends builder figure, really. So the complete figure looks so good, and I'm surprised they are going this deep, because we've had Prime and Megatron, have we had some others? But they're all like mainstream G1 characters. But now we're going pretty darn deep, and I like that they have, because this guy, like, he's got kind of a Megatron vibe with the big arm cannon. The tank tread's got a bit of an Armada Megatron look to him, but then he's very much his own thing too. And I gotta say, YOLO Park, I haven't got any of them, but every time I see him I think, I'm just one flawed financial decision away from diving into this line. Because honestly, these guys look terrific. Hot Toys are getting in with the Star Wars celebration goings on for this year. They are going to be doing their Sakura Stormtrooper, which is... It's absolutely a repaint that has been made. There you go, that's all I can tell you. Cherry Blossom version. This is the Star Wars Celebration exclusive version, going to be limited to 1,000 pieces. The standard Hot Toys exclusive version will be limited to 1,500 pieces and released in select markets. So you don't necessarily have to go to Tokyo Star Wars Celebration to pick them up. It's Malibu Stacy with a new hat, but it's a pretty new hat, I suppose. It looks like, you know, the Empire has been invading Kyoto during Sakura season. And honestly, that's an interesting crossover I never thought I would have seen. So yeah, it's a rather unique looking Hot Toy for your Star Wars collection. Hot Toys are also getting in on Daredevil Born Again with this admittedly, I think, really good looking Matt Murdock. I am having so much fun with Born Again that I did not expect to have. I thought, you know what, I'm going to watch this to be a part of the conversation. And then 2 episodes in, I was hooked. I'm loving it. I love the direction they're taking. So much more fun than the original episodes, with less filler as well. I feel like with the first couple of seasons of Daredevil, there were a few episodes where I was like, did I need to sit through that? We didn't really progress much. Whereas with this, it feels like things are always kind of moving forward, and I'm loving it. And this Daredevil, he looks great. One of the main reasons why is he's got the grimacing face, which you need, Hasbro. If you're doing a Daredevil, he's got to be conflicted and going into battle. That's what he should look like, and I think this looks really great. So he's going to be priced $280, going to be released between April and September. So they're giving themselves a pretty big window for that, but you can go over to sideshowcollectibles.com now and put down your pre-order. Now this is a surprising one. Joyman Toys, who made the Not Captain America that had the skeleton alternate head, they're making a Not Alfred. And this is kind of interesting. So he's being called Private Butler. But I mean, hey, by any other name, that's definitely the guy who's going to be taking care of Master Wayne. It's kind of fun. I mean, if you have a Batman and you want to have him maybe hanging out in the Batcave, cowl down, sipping a cup of tea, got Alfred right here. Joyman and any other third-party company that makes these not figures, it's kind of a grey area, because people were asking me, well, are you going to comment on like CT Toys and the Mafex knockoffs and stuff? And it is kind of a moral, yeah, like I say, a grey area, because I don't like commenting on things that are clearly just, you've stolen this mold and made it yourself. But things like this, where it's like a wink and a nod and a top of the cap and a how's your father, this ain't what I'm talking about, but you know it is type figure where it's been completely made from scratch, I kind of dig that. So I'm going to talk about these. So this generic Butler man, he looks like it could be a lot of fun. SH Figure Arts are doing some anime figures, so once again this is something that Dave doesn't know a lot about, but I know folks enjoy anime and they like seeing things covered, so I'm just going to tell you what I see in front of me. So we have got the Sakamoto Days Sakamoto Taro figure. So this is going to be scheduled for a release around about August of this year, so not too long to wait. From the TV anime Sakamoto Days, he's a friendly looking old dude with a gun. Don't know what that's all about, but someone does, and that certain someone might be happy to see this. And joining Mr. Sakamoto is going to be Asakura Shin. Once again, no idea, but it looks like another decent SH Figure Arts figure. And if you know, then you know. So just like the previous guy, this guy's going to be released later on in the year, this time a little bit later, going to be around about September. It says here with a total circulation of over 8 million copies, introducing Asakura Shin from the hugely popular manga and TV anime Sakamoto Days, currently being serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump. So for all you anime weeboos out there, this one's for you. Snail Shell are going to go back to the well and give us Lustia version 2 or second phase. I kind of love the way that they are creating this line like it is an action figure version of an RPG. So Lustia is this evil succubus character that the heroes would fight, and this of course is her second phase, where you think that you've defeated her, and then all of a sudden the ground starts to shake and some orchestral music begins playing, and Lustia comes back in version 2, and I've got the original one, and I got to say, she is one of my favorite action figures, at least of the last year or so, because she's ridiculous in the most fun ways. And now she's got this more devilish look. I really dig it. Don't need two. That's a bridge too far. However, if you don't have either or you want the full collection, then you can get this girl too. And of course, the most important fact that I gotta make clear to everyone is don't worry, you can buy bare feet for her separately. And that's the first thing everyone would have been thinking. It's like, yes, that's all well and good, but what about the bare feet? I love that there's a market for that. And yes, I also have the bare feet accessory pack. It's good fun. You can go check it out at Snail Shell. Probably going to be up for order or pre-order at 5K Toys. Super 7 are giving us a whole bunch of big bad mechs. Well, one of them, or two of them actually, are big, but not so bad. I love me the Iron Giant, and we're getting some Iron Giant representation here. So we're getting the Iron Giant Super Cyborg, which actually, the Iron Giant isn't a cyborg, I wouldn't have thought. I mean, we never really got a super fleshed out backstory, but I always assumed he's just a robot, so I wouldn't classify him as a cyborg if we're going to be splitting hairs. So this is the clear version, going to be 11 inches tall, so a big, big boy. And it's got quite a big price tag to go with it, going to be $85. But as a cool, quirky, kitsch-looking thing to fill up your shelf, I can see the appeal. But if you want to go more traditional with your Iron Giant, and you know me, I'm a traditionalist, then you can get the smaller 7-inch one that's going to be $35, and of course is just decked out just like you see him in the movie. And I love the fact that it's such a simple design that it can be recreated pretty much perfectly in action figure form. Now, I was saying big bad robots. We do have a big bad robot, and that would be the Super Cyborg Krang android. Once again, you're either an android or you're a cyborg. You're one of the two. And granted, the android has the organic Krang inside him, but he is not like a part of him. He just pilots him. Once again, not a cyborg. You heard it here first. Nonetheless, though, it's going to be $95 and yeah, available at all your regular places, Entertainment Earth, Super7.com, Big Bad Toy Store, Chosen Prime, Toy Geek, and everywhere good action figures are sold. Underverse keep coming out with these beautiful kind of cyberpunk gothic Lolita figures. This one's no exception. Let me just rattle off all the information so I can make sure that I get this right. Don't worry, there's lots of pretty pictures you can look at too, because dang it, these things, they are like kind of the art of action figures, as I like to say. Beautiful chemistry. This is called X Aki Bright. 7 Stars series, number 2, Monica pre-orders start March 27th. 10 a.m. China time zone, March 26th, 7 p.m. Pacific time zone. Designed by Aki Bright. Okay, so that's the name of the creator. US dollars going to be $135. They ain't cheap, but again, we're talking about a 1/6 scale figure, so kind of Hot Toys size there. Yeah, looks super pretty. I love something that is completely unique unto itself, kind of like the Snail Shell figures, just the company that's making the figures is creating their own world with them. I kind of dig that, and this looks like a great addition. Now, a bit of an unusual artist alley today. An artist by the name of Daniel Campos, who I'm not familiar with, and I haven't been able to find on Instagram either, but maybe you can help me out. I just saw this picture pop up of this artwork, of an interpretation of Dana Barrett and one of the demon dogs from Ghostbusters, and I just thought it's gorgeous. You ever sometimes see just a random little piece of fan art or something, and you're like, dang, That's really pretty. I want to see more from this guy. So if you're familiar with Daniel Campos, or if I can find some more information when I'm doing the edit, I'll let you know. But this dude, man, I just love this style. Hopefully I can find some more. Or maybe you can. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. Thank you so much for watching. What did you think about the items covered? Comment below. Let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you can join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And if you want to go one step beyond in supporting the channel, then you can do by getting yourself a YouTube channel membership. By doing that, you can take part in the daily live streams that we do for channel members here. Just today, we started a live stream in which the topic was what action figures are going to go in a maximum Hulk display. And somehow that turned into the practicalities of sexy time in the shower. You don't know where these live streams are going to go, but oh boy, do we rip the lid off these topics. So guys, thank you so much, everyone who takes part in those, because honestly, it's so much fun. I always film Good News after doing the live streams. I got this big goofy ass grin on my face. So gang, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, enjoy sexy shower time and keep displaying model behavior.
Cup of coffee. Big time.